Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time, welcome to the channel with your host Joshua, and today we're going to be reacting to Is it okay to have a preference of race? Interracial couples agree or disagree? And this is by Jubilee. So, yeah, for me, I think it's okay to have a preference of race, but it depends where it's coming from because preference of race is like a societal preference is like a societal thing. It's like, oh, I only like white women. I don't like black women. It's like you didn't come out the womb saying you don't like black women. Something in your life caused you to have a bad experience with black women or the negative societal stereotypes of what comes with dating a black woman or dating a person of this race. And that is what causes preference. And that to me is something that we have to like work on. But yeah, let's just get into the reaction.
The freak stuff in the bedroom. If race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that?
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination.
I have unintentionally been racist towards my partner. Three, two, one, go.
I definitely. So we had an argument, and I was upset, and I had previously expressed how the stereotype or the stigma on angry black men or angry black women and how that makes me feel. And so we got into an argument. I was an angry black man, but in that moment of anger, he actually called me an angry black man, which
Which is like the worst thing to
made me
say.
go crazy because that was like the one thing that I talked to him about. So that was a really bad fight, and it never happened again.
Right. I feel like, I mean, I'm strongly disagree, but I think as just a white person, I am just inherently ignorant. So I think I'm gonna move to somewhat agree. Dating a black man has completely opened my eyes more than I already thought they were open. You know.
To be fair, you've never said anything that made me feel like, damn, she's racist.
I'm from the Bay, so it used to be in my vocabulary where I would say the N word with the A. I would rap it. I would do just those things, but my slang in general would just tick her off. And then I became conscious of it, and I really liked her, or I still do, of course. I love you. Um, I started changing the way I speak. I feel like she should be over here too. Um, she would do Asian accents.
The only time that I feel like I could be offending Asian people is when I'm mocking you when you're mocking your mother.
There it
so,
is.
so I only do the accent when he does it, making fun of his mom. Before that, I never did that. So.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna do something different. This is called hot takes, and basically we let our audience submit hot takes and assumptions that they make about interracial relationships. They're really hot. Sex gets steamy since you are interracial.
I mean, I think it adds to. I like
the
Hill.
differences between us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's not like any weird role play or anything. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it
definitely,
matters.
makes it fun.
I will say, like,
It gets steamy based on your personality and
oh, like,
how
I
you
love
creative
the
you can
black
be.
guy, and it's like that's like super disrespectful because it's like that's like definitely like on the line of like fetishizing like
Right,
a
right.
race.
There's not many sexual stereotypes about white men. But like walking down the street, especially dating an Asian woman, like I get looks from men all the time, being like, "Oh, like right?" And like people like actually like calling me out while I'm right next to her.
Interracial relationships can be a fetish, and that's okay if it's love too.
Um,
Even if you love the person, you just fetishizing that person is
yeah,
not good at
I
all.
wouldn't.
Yeah, and you're devaluing the
Mm-mm.
entire community in itself.
I think there's always room for growth, so I can understand if it starts
But it
as a
shouldn't be
fetish
a
and
fetish.
then
Yeah, and then
along
but it shouldn't
the
be.
relationship they actually fall in love
You
with
should
that
fall in
person
love
and
with
they
somebody not
realize that
because
okay, it wasn't okay for me
it's a
to
fetish that, oh, I want to
initially
be with
just
black
date you
girls. It's
based
like,
off of
no, you
that.
just want
If
to be
it's
with somebody
between
who's
two consenting adults
actually
that
connects
think
with you.
stuff in the bedroom, if race sprinkles is put into that context, what do we think of that? Like, it's just in the bedroom, or is it like possible to just keep it in the bedroom?
How would race be put into the bedroom?
Use your imagination. I'm
It doesn't even matter if you're consenting or not. It's still wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, that would
Right?
be
Like
wrong.
you want to say that stuff. You want to do that stuff because of the stereotypes you have of those people, and
Exactly.
that doesn't really sit right with me whatsoever.
I have always wanted mixed babies. Three, two, one, go.
At one point in my life, I kind of wanted to have mixed babies with almost every race. I don't know if that's weird,
Man's trying to do a Nick
but
Cannon.
I just wanted. I'm real into genetics. I would like to see how my kids would turn out, and
In every race. Jeez.
Man.
As a mixed race person myself, you don't have a group of people to really be around. I mean, sometimes you connect with one side, sometimes you connect with the other side. But for
Yep.
me, it sucked actually a lot. I've accepted myself. I'm black and proud. I love the fact that I have both of these cultures, and I really don't care. I just have to teach my kids that because of your skin tone, you either gain privileges or lose
Or you
them.
lose them.
Like I've had people at work like who will be talking about ourselves, and I'll show them a picture of Ivan, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, I totally wanted black babies like when I was like a teenager," and it's just like this isn't Build a Bear, like
Right.
this is a human, like what the
Right.
so
And I actually have an 8-year-old
Yeah,
with
that's
a mixed
just.
child. It's been very challenging, but I've had to stick it out because I want to be a good father and I care about my kid. So
this isn't Build a Bear, this is real life. And in my mind, I wanted to have kids that was exactly my skin tone or very close to it and look like me because I am conceited as well. Where the hell I'm gonna find somebody to do that and it work out and they're just the perfect wife? I don't believe in that anymore.
It's funny because that was actually something we talked about when we first started dating. That became an insecurity of mine. I was like, so why are we dating? Because I cannot provide absolutely any of that for you. And so
Hmm.
I understand, like I said, why he feels that way, why a lot of the black community feels that way.
Yeah, because
So I'm just glad that
we
I'm
want to keep that
accepting
same gene pool.
that in our
We don't
relationship
want,
for that.
I sometimes
especially parents, they
wonder
don't want
if
your
race
race
is
to
race.
end. They want you to
Three,
keep creating.
two,
If you're black, keep creating
one,
black babies. If you're
go.
white, keep creating white babies.
Yeah. I definitely feel like that, man. I feel like, especially where
It
I'm
makes
from,
a lot of sense that
I
the
did my people a disservice by playing into that stereotype and knowing what I stand for now. It's hard for me to feel like I'm going to be taken serious in the future if I ever want to speak on controversial topics. My people won't respect what I say because like it doesn't add up my views and stuff, and then I'm dating somebody outside of my race, but
it's
I just
crazy how all the
feel like I
white
can
people
disrespect
or the
them.
lighter
Me growing
skinned
up, like
people
I was
were
never always seen as black, whether it was
all
because
on
of how I
the
looked or how I
disagree, and
talked
then
with our
the
culture. But then when I get with someone who's not
black people
black,
are all
right,
on
they're
the
like, "Oh, you're betraying us."
right
Oh, like
side.
I get comments sitting in my DMs, be like, "Oh, Alex, you're not with us no more," right? And I'm like, "Do you
That's
want me
not
or do you not
that's
want
not
me?"
true.
You know, it doesn't bother me if you don't want me, and I understand it is what it is, but don't pick and choose and don't nitpick little things, right? If you
Yeah,
want me
especially
to be part of your community, then accept me for who I am. Don't.
me being Hispanic and me being both Puerto Rican and Dominican. It can be hard trying to balance both sides. You know, some stuff that Puerto Ricans do, Dominicans don't like. Some stuff that Puerto Ricans do, some stuff that Dominicans do, Puerto Ricans don't like, and vice versa. And it's a struggle for us minorities because we are like, I don't know. It feels like you're betraying somebody. You're betraying your race by like going outside of the race. But it's like that shouldn't be a thing. Like you should be able to go with whoever you want if you are going out with them for the right reasons and not having to bash down other people. But let's get back into the video.
Say that because I'm half, I don't get to participate in certain topics or certain discussions.
Being linked to another race has its benefits.
That's for
Three,
everybody, yeah.
two, one,
I would agree.
go.
feel like the word like linked kind of confused me because I feel like experiencing another person's experience, like what their culture, like the way that they live, is definitely personally beneficial.
Yeah, that's
But I think
personal
that like in
beneficial.
terms of how others view me because I'm dating a white man, I don't find that beneficial. Like I feel like people might have like preconceptions about who I am because I'm an Asian person who's chosen to date a white man. Yeah.
Mhm.
I had a question for I guess other people. Like, do you ever feel like being with a white person like could shield you from like discrimination, or like that they could like stand up for you in a certain context? Like if you were in like an altercation with the police or something, like would having a white person there,
For
like
sure,
Yeah.
right,
for
it would
sure.
be
In that
helpful.
sense, and that's what I kind of thought of when I heard the question, and I was listening to you. It's just like I don't know, even a customer service experience. I don't know, just random experiences where the person on the other side might judge me based on me being black, but versus someone else calling, or him calling, and it's a whole different experience. So they might treat us individuals differently. So there might be a whole different experience based on just that.
I feel like an outsider with my partner's family. Three, two, one, go.
So I'm sorry,
Yeah,
because
this is more of a
in
family
our
thing.
lives, especially today, recently, politics plays such a huge part in it. And because
It
you come
does.
from a conservative household, it does. That's different from where I come from, and it does make me a little bit uncomfortable to know that I'm gonna be meeting people and have to have close relationships with them, and they don't value
Yeah, they don't
the
have the
things
same
I
values
value
of
in
you.
my life.
He's actually the first black man I have ever dated, and the only person of color within like my family, just in of itself. And so, certain members of my family, with the same political values as us, like had to kind of confide in me, like, "Hey, we support you with whoever you date. Like, we're here for you." So it was interesting to kind of see the different sides of my family members that I didn't necessarily know.
When I met
Yep,
her
it
father for
really
the
just
first
depends on the
time,
family.
we were walking to get food, and we saw the Ronald Reagan Museum or something like that. And he was like, "Oh yeah, I love Ronald Reagan, right? And you can have your own personal opinions on presidents, but Ronald Reagan was like, he's like the main reason why black people are incarcerated. He's not a very good person to black people." So I was just kind of cracking up about that, and I was kind of awkward, and I know you kind of bit your tongue on that as
Yeah,
well.
it's hard to not say anything.
But I was thinking about saying something to maybe like be like, "Oh, I don't know about that," but I didn't want to like argue with your father on the very
Mhm.
first day that I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be very fun. Yeah. I don't know if I can exactly truly connect with him because of that. He's a very nice person, obviously, and he makes me feel comfortable, but at the same time I have to recognize who I am as a person.
I would say I somewhat agree because with
Makes sense.
my partner's family, there's a language barrier. So I guess it's my responsibility now to try to learn the language, but sometimes when we're together, they're talking, I have no idea what's going
And
on.
you don't know
So
what they're
I
saying.
think
You don't know if
that's
they're
a bit
talking
of
good or
why I feel
bad.
like an outsider, but other than that, I feel welcome.
I wish we were the same race. Three, two, one, go.
I'll start. I feel like that would just be the default easiest way to
Yeah, that's
to
just the
navigate through life.
yep, the cop out way of.
But definitely, obviously, growth happens when you're in relationships. But yeah, that's kind of why I chose somewhat or similarly.
Yeah, I guess it, like you were saying, like I just feel like it would be easier in some aspects, and then for me, just like being mixed race, I have felt very like disconnected from my culture. So I feel like dating someone from who was like Chilean or who was Korean would help me. But I
Yeah, that
also
would
feel
definitely
like
help.
obviously if you were white, you wouldn't be like you, and so I don't like wish that. And
But then that's
Exactly.
not
You
where,
just you
like,
want to pick somebody that you
that's
personally
not what
connect
weirds
with.
me out because it's like, what do you
It
want
shouldn't
to do?
matter of the skin color or
Like white people, I feel like we learn a lot.
I think it's
you shouldn't want to
interesting
wish
that everybody's
for your
saying
partner to
that
be the same
they
race.
feel it's easier because I feel like it would be more difficult me having a black man and raising a black family. That it would be more difficult if I was maybe with someone who was white, who could probably have benefits in other ways. I'm grateful for my husband and I love being with him, and I think there's a lot of benefits just culturally.
And you guys, that is officially a wrap. And then we also got you some really cute merch.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice.
thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
This is really cute. Ooh, our color.
empathy, which we need a lot. We need a lot more in this country. We need a lot more empathy in this country, especially um just being more empathetic in general. Just be a human. Be decent. Be a decent human. Like we just gotta be more empathetic, understand people's not gonna have the same values as us, and we just have to agree to disagree, like Jubilee says. But here's the tea when it comes to me and preferences of race. I don't care. I think black people should be with white people should be with black people, Asians should be with um, Americans, Indians being with Chinese. Like it doesn't matter to me, as long as it's coming from a place of I want to personally build with this person. I am feel connected to this person, and I feel like we can make a good match. But if you're going with the intent that race, like, oh, I want a white guy because I want benefits, I want a black person because I want to see how it is on the chocolate side, like stuff like that, like that, having a preference, or having a preference and like, um, certain men like to, for example, bring down people of their own race, to be with the other person, whether that be a white guy or a white woman bringing down her race to be with a black person, or a black person bringing down their own race to be with a white person. That's not cool. Like, if you want to go out, if you're white and you want to go with a black person, guess what? Go right ahead. What you're not supposed to do is now be like, I'm going out with this black person because all white people are garbage and they don't know how to act, and this. It's like now you're clearly going to get, you're just dating because of race, and that's the thing that comes with preferences. It's like preferences should be allowed, and that should be a thing if it's coming from a right intent. If you just are building a connection with somebody, no matter what the race is or what, who cares? It's another thing for you to now take stereotypes that are specifically made in society, and are you grow with these stereotypes your whole life, and you believe, oh well, all black women are the angry black women, or all men are the angry black men, or white people have benefits, and they might be racist, and we don't affiliate with that. We You have to realize that with nobody's born with like the idea of you just coming out of the womb, you just pop out and you're like, yeah, black people suck, white people suck, Asians suck. You're not born with these ideas, you're not born with these preferences. You develop these preferences as you move through life. As and if you feel like, man, every black woman I talk to is angry and this and that, and oh, I'm just gonna stick to this. I'm gonna stick to my own race. Or I'm gonna stick to this race. And why? Because they have the angry black woman. It's like that. That is just your societal growth. You grew up in a society where the culture is put on to have stereotypes that grow through your whole life, and you are gonna. Whoa, sorry, y'all. Camera moved. You're gonna have to go through with life, and life is gonna have you're gonna get stereotypes from life, and you're gonna live with them, and you're gonna start to believe them. And then if you're going out with people just because I'm trying to avoid this race because I know that they like this or they are stereotypical of this, that is no longer preference. That is something that it is a preference, but your preference is coming from stereotypes slash societal norms that have been put on you since birth. That is something that we need to work on and understand that preference is okay, but it depends on the preference and what you are preferring, and if it's not coming rooted in a place of evil. But yeah, I'm rambling, guys. You guys have a great day. Let me know what you guys want to react to next, and we'll react to more stuff. Just leave it on the comment section below. You guys have a great day. All right. Bye.